What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are here with the bad boy of the Cayenne lineup. This is the Turbo E-Hybrid with GT package. It is the fastest, the most expensive version you can get here in Europe at least, and that's a shame because the previous pre-facelift Turbo GT Cayenne is one of the best SUVs ever made. It's definitely one of only two SUVs that can actually say they handle like a sports car. Turbo GT DBX 707 Aston Martin. So yeah, it is a shame that we can't get the Turbo GT here anymore. That is down to regulations, CO2, whatever. They could not get that engine ready to be sold in Europe, or they didn't want to. So yeah, we don't get it, unfortunately. You can have it in the US, in some parts of Asia, in Australia and in South Africa. But we get this placeholder Big Daddy, which kind of feels like Porsche threw us a bone and we're like, yeah, okay, here, you have a GT package. The rest gets the real, like, incredibly capable Turbo GT. But we're going to find out today what this is like, because you do get quite a few things on this Turbo GT package that you can't get on a regular Turbo E-Hybrid. So that is what this car is based on. It's a Turbo E-Hybrid with GT package. The name is really not cool. They should have done something different, I think. You always have to say, yeah, I have a Turbo E-Hybrid with the GT package. Should have done something else. Anyway, Cayenne facelift, very comprehensive facelift. We've covered it before. New headlights. Actually, a lot has changed. So if you want to watch that video, click in the top right corner. Now we're going to focus on the GT package part of it, which is the front bumper. So this is a sport design front bumper, as they call it, with much more open air intakes there on the side. This is also more open, completely different design than a regular Turbo E-Hybrid. So that is what I like. I really like. They made sure that you can see that this is a Turbo GT package car and not a regular Turbo E-Hybrid. Moving on, you also get these like fender flares, this wider part down here as well. This side skirt is standard on the GT package car. These wheels in this deep sea blue. This is a 22-inch wheel, a GT design wheel. So this is the Turbo GT wheel, the real one. But you can only get it in this blue or in neodyme, which is like a gold bronze color, on the Turbo GT package. So you can have a GT wheel on a regular Turbo E-Hybrid, but it's silver or black, I think, or grey, but not blue or bronze. So that's another way you can tell that this is a GT package car. Behind that, as standard, Porsche carbon ceramic brakes, which are great. And we've got these Continental Sport Contact 7 tires, and optionally you can get a high performance tire. So I'm not sure if this is a high performance tire. It's not really, right? So I think you can also get a more high performance tire. So they also fiddled with the air suspension, with the active suspension management. So that's also the anti-roll stabilization, and you get the Porsche torque vectoring diff, which they have fiddled with as well for the GT package. Carbon mirrors, you get a carbon roof as standard on the GT package, which is very, very nice. And that combined with the carbon ceramic brakes as standard means that this car is 100 kilos lighter than a regular Turbo E-Hybrid. You also get a titanium exhaust, so that also saves some weight. So 100 kilos, that is quite a lot, but that still means that this car weighs 2,500 kilos, depending on, their different weight things. You have DIN weight and EU weight. DIN weight is 2495, EU weight is 2570. So it's a very heavy car, but still it's 100 kilos lighter than a regular E-Hybrid. It is, however, still 275 kilos heavier than a real Turbo GT, which is like 2200. So yeah, that's a shame. But anyway, you get 100 kilos, which means that the 0 to 100 time is 3.6 for this car instead of 3.7 for the regular E-Hybrid. You get a rear spoiler here with these carbon side blades. You get another little spoiler there, Cayenne Turbo badge. And then you have a nice diffuser, which is different, of course, because it houses a dual exhaust exit instead of a quad exit, with a carbon fiber diffuser as well. And this titanium exhaust with that blue insert looks super cool. Now, last time around when we drove the Turbo GT, they never specified that it wasn't a Krapovic exhaust, but then I got underneath the car and it said a Krapovic. So I'm guessing that's the case with this exhaust as well. Yeah. So I hope you guys can see that. There it says a Krapovic, made in Slovenia. Hope you guys can see that. So yeah, this saves some proper weight, and it sounds nice as well. It's a very deep sound. So let's take a look. We have to take a look inside, because another thing you get on the Turbo GT package is the rear seats are like proper sporty seats. So you get proper bolstering in the rear as well. You also get these sports seats in the front as standard. Deep sea blue seat belts to match the wheels, stitching as well, and this trim as well. That is quite a nice touch. I like that. That's cool. So let's check out the engine. Which is the 4-liter V8 bi-turbo within this Turbo E hybrid spec. 600 horsepower, 800 Newton meters of torque. But it is supported by an electric motor. You've got a 26 kilowatt hour battery, and you've got another 176 horsepower from the electric motor, and the total is 739 horsepower and 950 Newton meters of torque, which is kind of insane. 739. This thing, as I said, it goes from 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. I actually did 3.5 earlier, and it weighs 2,500 plus kilos. It is just mind-boggling. 3.5 seconds. Absolutely insane. So yeah, this is one of 3 plug-in hybrids you can get in the new Cayenne. So regular Cayenne hybrid, Cayenne S hybrid, both 6 cylinders, and then you've got this Turbo E hybrid V8. 739 and almost 1,000 Newton meters. Pretty sick, right? It does mean that you lose a bit of luggage space, of course. So you have a very high floor. Yeah, don't mind that. I'm alone today, so I needed a tripod, but it keeps going everywhere, so I kind of fixed it. But you have a coupe, of course. The GT package is only available for Cayenne coupes, so you do lose out on a bit of luggage space there. Keep that in mind. But you can't get the Turbo GT, you can't get the GT package on a regular Cayenne. So let's have a look inside. Oh, because you get some more stuff in here. As I said, you have that blue trim in deep sea blue, which is nice to match the wheels. You also get a lot of this race text, as Porsche calls it, Alcantara, on the dash, on the center here, the seats, the doors. You've got carbon trim as well. But probably the most noticeable one is that you get this GT steering wheel, which is 15 millimeters smaller in diameter than the regular Turbo E hybrid, which is nice. I like that. It's Alcantara, race text as well, and you have a red sport response button on the steering wheel as well for the GT package. So start it up in hybrid, so it starts up in EV mode, of course. Now, if I switch to sport mode, you can hear that exhaust. Nice little burble, but you also immediately hear that they're pumping fake sound through the speakers. And most of the time, that sound is louder than the exhaust sound, which is a shame. I like the exhaust sound. It's deep, it's bellowy, it's V8-y. So they shouldn't ruin it with fake sound through the speakers, I think. Okay, so as I said, they did change the air suspension, the suspension management system and stuff like that for the GT package, but you don't get like the full-blown crazy Turbo GT suspension setup So it does not feel as like GT3 in an SUV-ish as the Turbo GT felt. Let's get that out of the way. That's the main thing that you're missing out on, is that crazy suspension feeling, that super communicative suspension. And no, this is different. They've done a great job of setting this up, I have to say, but it's not as like crazy poised and tied down as that Turbo GT. You also have rear wheel steering, so that means that the car feels quite like agile. Oh, it's windy. It turns in really quickly. Oh. I mean, that's pretty insane, right? It just goes. It just moves so quickly because of that four-wheel steering. And then if you just tap the throttle, you get that electric power immediately. And that kind of caught me off guard there, and it has multiple times already over the last few days. It just doesn't feel very natural to drive this car. It caught me off guard a few times on braking as well, because you have that regenerative braking, but you also have those ceramic brakes. So a couple times already I was like braking and I was like not giving it enough or too much, or it's kind of weird. Also a matter of getting used to, but yeah, that four-wheel steering means that it feels a bit unnatural sometimes. It feels too like there's too much in between, right? So it doesn't feel as mechanical as a Turbo GT feels, which is a shame. But again, I do think it's also a matter of getting used to. Yeah, sometimes, most of the time the brakes feel fine, but then sometimes you're just not ready. But it is very, very fast. It's absolutely insane. The engine, the V8, 600 horsepower, it's so good already. And then you add that electric torque to it, which means there's just no lag. You just put your foot down and just go. Oh, I wanted to show you the launch control. We're actually just going to wait here so the truck can pass, and then I'll show you guys the launch control. I also just noticed the rear spoiler also acts as an air brake, which is pretty cool. I have to turn off the lane keep assist and the speed limit warning every time in every new car now, which is just so annoying. It automatically switches on every time you get in the car. Okay, so we're in Sport Plus. We don't have to do anything else. Press the brake hard, full throttle, launch control. As I said, I did 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds, which is just nuts. And then, as you'll see right now on the Autobahn, it will just keep going. It is outrageous. So handling wise, it is actually very impressive. You have to get used to that super sensitive, see that? Super sensitive off-center steering. It's just, after that, it actually feels really good. Oh, come on, that is proper. So here we go, full throttle. And it is faster than I was expecting, which says a lot, because you're getting in a Porsche with 739 horsepower, so you know it's going to be fast. But it surprised me nonetheless, the way this thing just catapults and does not stop. So that's 270, 280. It's ridiculous. Now another thing you get on the GT package is a race top speed. So the regular one is 295 and the GT package 305, which is also nice. And it will get there quite easily. mean, it is pretty incredible that this 2500 kilo SUV gets up to speed this easily and handles itself at that speed so well. Yellow plates. Wake up, buddy. Oh, it picks up so well. It's outrageous. That was weird. Stuck in 5th gear. I'm not in manual mode, right? Not anymore. So that's a bit too close for comfort. Okay, staying on the right. That was already close to 300. So that's 300. Oh, those ceramic brakes. Come on. Those are so lovely. So it is quite windy, which you definitely feel in a big car like this. 100 to 200, by the way, 766, also very, very quick. Are you going right, buddy? Yep, okay. So 305, it's actually limited at 309 on the speedo, but we'll have to see if we can get there right now. Oh, just through the corner. It's so freaking stable. Amazing. Amazing. So I definitely don't think we got like bamboozled with this GT package car. I really don't. It's quite an amazing thing, and I think you do get quite a bit extra compared to a turbo e-hybrid. You know, apart from just the added desirability of having the best and the most powerful or the most, I don't know, outrageous version. Apart from that, you also actually get some stuff which you don't get on the turbo e-hybrid, which is great. So yeah, it's a shame we don't get the turbo GT anymore, because that car is just chef's kiss. But this is a very, very good like placeholder thing. It is an incredible car. I just don't really like those brakes, and sometimes it feels a bit unnatural, I have to say. It's not like older Cayennes or older Porsches in general that felt so analog and so mechanical and just so connected. This feels a bit more digital, a bit more like there's stuff in between, and that's a shame. But amazing car nonetheless. That's it. This is the border. We did 300 on the speedo at least, so you know it will do that. But if you want to watch the Autobahn POV and this thing at its absolute max, you can watch You can watch the video in the top right corner. You can also check out this video on the right, this playlist of videos, of reviews I should say. You can subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.